Um, Ladies and gentlemen, this is a ship that I've been wanting to cover for a while and just haven't had anybody sending in the replay. This is the Tsurugi. It's a Tier 9 Japanese premium battle cruiser. It came out along with the Japanese battle cruiser line. Um, she's okay. There's things about her that are fun. There's things about her that are not. Um, and I'd say she struggles in a lot of cases. She's got 457 millimeter guns at tier 9. That's fine. Pretty good accuracy and that sort of thing in them. But Tsurugi, unlike the Japanese battle cruiser line, does not have that special spotter plane that kind of makes them unique and really good at sniping things. She does have F3 torpedoes, which I guess can come in handy if you get really up close and personal to somebody into a knife fight. But the big problem with these torpedoes is, well, actually, never mind. They're 15-kilometer deep waters. I saw up here it said F3, so I'm thinking about the standards. 15 kilometers is fine. It makes them makes them a little bit handy. I was going to say trying to get close to the point where you can use those torpedoes can be a problem, but 15 kilometers should be okay. Honestly, it's a ship that I've played a few times, like in operations, and then just shelved it. I don't really have much of an interest in playing it. Armact, how about you? How's your experience been with this ship?
I have I've generally really enjoyed it.
Okay.
The high explosive, I think, got a buff shortly after release or something like that.
Okay. The
Um,
okay the HE shells.
I think the HE shells,
Okay.
um, I might have been like a little damage or fire chance buff. Um, so
Okay.
it ends up being rather comfortable to play because 18-inch armor piercing hurts things.
Uh huh.
And even though you don't overmatch battleships, you can kind of be a little, thunderer impersonator and
Mm-hmm.
yeet spicy fire shells their way. So
Okay. Okay. And yeah, because these are deep water torpedoes, I need to highlight too. They can only hit cruisers and battleships. Thank you, Electric.
they
Um,
they can't even hit cruisers. They
or sorry,
are
the carriers and battleships is what I meant to say. But yes, they can't hit cruisers. Right. So I mean, mm, they're okay, but I mean, for you, the bread and butter is going to be your main battery, right?
totally. I think you'll see me dump torpedoes where I think a battleship might appear
Okay.
sometime or another.
Okay.
But the torpedoes reload so slowly, and you know you only get two reload boost charges, and it's hard to feel like you can just spam them away because you think you might need them later, sort of thing.
Okay. Fair enough. Worth noting, your concealment is quite good. 11.45 when you do the concealment build, and your speed at 37 knots definitely makes you a battle cruiser. So that makes sense. Okay. Well, let's take a look at the build and get to your game and see how you play it. So you've got main armaments mod 1, damage control, aiming systems, propulsion, concealment, and then finally main battery mod 3. Okay. It's a fine build. I will note your rudder shift time is pretty bad. It's over 15 seconds. My rule of thumb is 15 or under for battleships, so I might consider changing that up. That's a sizable reduction in rudder shift time. Might make the ship a little bit more responsive to trying to dodge incoming fire, dodge torpedoes, that sort of thing. Alternately, if you find yourself getting farmed a lot, the damage control might be a good choice too. For Tsurugi, I guess if you're stopping and going a lot, the propulsion comes in handy. I think the hard thing for a lot of Japanese battleship players, especially the Japanese battle cruisers, is learning to not move at full speed all the time. You can go at a quarter to a half speed and only speed up when you need to. So,
Um,
okay.
I would actually say that the ship gets overmatched by 16-inch armor
Mm-hmm.
piercing to the bow and
Mm-hmm.
stern.
Okay.
Uh, so there's a little bit of, well, if someone catches me broadside after I turn to get all six of my guns off, do I want to be faster getting
Mm-hmm.
somewhere else, or
Mm-hmm.
do I want to be able to give them the wiggles a little bit better?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I might try it out different, but
Okay.
frankly, if you're getting shot at, you already have problems. It's
True.
um, you know,
Yeah, you don't play her on the front lines. That's for sure.
not ideally, anyways.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Pockington, I don't know if I want to choose the new Dutch commander or the Tier 9 Pan Asia battleship. You have to choose between the two of them?
You can get either one for free, but you don't get enough tokens to get both for free.
Okay.
Plus, it takes 2 patches to get the battleship,
Ew.
whereas the commander you can get in one.
I'd get the commander. Pan Asian battleship? What do I care? Anyway,
That battleship is like a tier 9 lava.
I'm even less interested. Okay. Um, so we got a repair party consumable, and then you've got your torpedo reload booster, and then you've got Yamamoto as your captain. I'm very curious, what ship is your Yamamoto on, tech tree wise?
He's on Yamato.
He's on Yamato. Okay, so this is your Yamato build then. Okay. So you've got emergency repair specialist, grease the gears, and that's buffed because it's Yamamoto. You've got basics of survivability and adrenaline rush, emergency repair, concealment, and fire prevention. So you got your typical kind of tank battleship build out of Yamamoto. I would say I think your buffed preventative maintenance is better even on a Yamato than emergency repair specialist, but it's not worth spending the doubloons or Commander XP to respec him. Just want to put that out there, especially if you're playing him on like a ship like this that's got torpedoes. Preventive maintenance really helps with that. So
What's nice about these torpedoes, as opposed to most battleship torpedoes, is they're not on the weather deck.
okay,
So they're kind of like Japanese cruiser torpedoes that are tucked in along the sides, so they're not as exposed to HE span.
Sure.
And then this Yamamoto captain I use probably much more on Musashi, which, let's be honest, there aren't too many AA guns or secondaries on Musashi to get destroyed.
No.
That's fair, but at the same time, that 30% cooldown reduction from that other skill is not doing much either.
True.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
Personally, I put gun
Agreed.
feeder on all of my tank builds on battleships.
That's
Okay.
for a Yamato completely worthless, I'd say.
No,
True.
I have to disagree there because you never know when you're going to see a DD. There are times when it's useful.
You're never gonna switch to HD after you spot the destroyer because it still takes like 15 seconds to switch, at which point the DD might not be spotted anymore. You're far better off just shooting the AP and get the overpens.
Agreed. So this I was looking. You save a whopping 2.4 seconds doing emergency repair specialist for your damage control party, and then for repair party, same thing.
Yes. It's
Weird. It's not showing up. It's not updating properly here, but you get the idea.
yeah, it doesn't. For those couple of times every once in a while where I'm sitting there on fire and just like mashing the R key,
Mm-hmm.
One eye on the timer and one eye on my HP that's slowly burning down.
Yeah. It can
But-
save you. I get it.
Yeah, it is a little bit just on the tiny margins. What I would consider rebuilding on this ship, if I had like a specific captain for it, would be to maybe not take fire prevention and then do brisk and maybe priority target. Because it's going to get buffed with an extra repair party. So it can get a maximum of 5 instead of 4. If I recall correctly.
I don't know. I don't like the idea of losing fire prevention because, I mean, that saves you from so many fires. I see what you're saying, though, because with your concealment and brisk, they work really well together to move fast.
I think if you want brisk, you have to drop the basics.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna mention.
And then pick up the preventive maintenance.
Well,
Or
you,
maybe on Tsurugi, since I like to shoot the HE, the gun feeder.
Or gun feeder.
Yeah, it
But
wouldn't be a.
Tsurugi has 150, has the 457s, right?
31 knots.
You're
Thanks
not-
for the follow, by the way. I thought you followed earlier, but thank you either way.
You're probably not tanking 2 million in a Tsurugi with how squishy she is.
This
Not
is
unless
true.
you have a very bad Dutch airstrike player on the enemy team.
I'm just trying to think of ways that you can get that extra heal in from here. I mean, the
You're
other
not
option is
proccing it.
basics. The other option is basics, just to reduce the fire time. If you really want these other skills, I don't know. I think fire prevention is just so helpful for ships that just get spammed down. But I suppose if
just
you've
dro-
got 32, it's not as important.
Just drop basics, pick up the brisk if you want it in the preventive, or the gun feeder, whatever you want is 1 point. I'd take the preventive, but
Yeah.
whatever you want. Honestly, I'd probably just take preventive and gun feeder. I'd drop the emergency repair expert, but
Yeah, that could work.
specialist, I mean.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, that could work. Okay. And then flags, you've got fire reduction, heal boosting, and speed. You're trying to conserve flags, I guess?
Yeah, mostly. I usually run fire reduction and speed, or not speed, heal on
Okay.
all my battleships, and like heal on all the ships that have a heal.
Okay.
And then speed, because this is a battle cruiser, and
Mhm.
it needs the speed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Speed is life for that. Speed is armor, right?
It's fun, by the way, that you said you wanted the emergency repair expert because you get the heal back quicker, etc., and then you're not taking the cooldown reduction flag.
yeah, I burned through those consumable cooldown reduction flags quickly. So if it's not a
Yeah.
ranked game, I'm not going to use it.
Right. Yeah, if you're conserving flags, that's fine. Who cares? Makes sense.
If I was for some reason taking Tsurugi into rank, God bless me, I'd probably have the
Right.
cooldown flag.
Yeah. And yeah, the ERE extends the duration of your repair party consumable, so that extends the time before you can use the next one, but you do heal more, so there's that too. So, okay, well, let's get into your replay then and see what we can see from it, huh? First of all, let's take a look at them torpedoes. Where are they? Ah, there they are. Okay. I see them. So yeah, they're pretty well protected. Kind of like cruiser style. Okay.
Yeah, they have the same flaw as the Japanese cruiser torpedoes in that they don't turn forward at all.
Right. Right. Which goes back to Electric's comment earlier about it's really only helpful when you're kiting away from chasing carriers and battleships, right? So, okay. In Great Vulture, you see the comment in there. You need to put the title and author with your song request, or if you've got a specific YouTube video, you can copy paste the stuff at the end of the YouTube link, like what Electric just did. Anyway, so this is a top tier game for you. No carriers, one sub. No carriers, one sub. Not much in the destroyer department. A lot of battleships.
A lot of scary battleships.
Right.
In that all except the Los Andes has 16-inch guns, and the Los Andes is its own bundle of worry.
Yes, exactly. Now, Great Vulture, you can't put the entire link in there. As you can see, link sharing is off because we get bots in there that are like, cheap viewers on this link and blah, blah, blah. So what you need to do is where the link says V ! Equals or whatever, you just copy the letters and numbers after that part of the URL. So we were talking about leaving the flank, and you're leaving the flank because you're scared.
Not only because I'm scared, but I'm also thinking like I want to hunt some broadsides here.
Okay.
There's an island. There's that big blooming island in sea, and the Massachusetts is going up the left side of it. So I figure, well, maybe if I post up somewhere near B, someone might come on over and
Okay.
kind of like that Los Andes there. Thinking I might maybe get some torpedoes or some shots his direction.
Okay. There you go, Great Vulture. Go ahead.
I really want this Chikuma here. Yeah.
Well, I can see that. The problem is...
obvious enough on replay.
Yeah, the problem is opening up there, it does two things. One, it tells him where you are, and two, the Chikuma pops out right after you shot your guns. So, whoops.
Yeah.
Insta DCP. Now, what's interesting is you're leaving the flank, but then the Brandenburg and Iowa are leaving their flank. So it's kind of funny.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a double switch.
Why are you leaving though?
He said he wanted to get cross shots.
Yeah, I'm hunting broadsides here as much as I can, and I'm just not finding any.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're actually making it harder for you to find good broadsides by going in the middle like this.
Hmm.
You're also taking your torpedoes completely out of the game.
Mm-hmm. Rui, hey, your unique upgrade for the gearing, it is confusing. So, for the gearing, you lose reload on your guns and I think your torps as well, but you gain concealment. You get the same concealment as a Shimakaze. It is all but required in a competitive play like ranked and clan battles, but for random battles, you're probably better off without it. Now, you're able to use your fast speed to your advantage to get to the other side. You're fortunate nothing went up the middle at all on the enemy team. So now you're coming out looking for... Why are you turning into B? Hey, Dutch.
I'm not sure why I'm turning into B here. Sixth sense or something? Maybe I'm thinking if I can scoot along into B, I can disengage. But maybe get some shots on the Vladivostok in Kansas.
Okay. It does allow you to get behind the enemy, but if you keep banging away with your guns, you're kind of showing yourself and telling people where you're going. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I am feeling a little bit of pressure in that it's like, 5 minutes into the game, I've done 25,000 damage, and my team's lost one flank, and another flank is very much in the balance here.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling like, all right, I'm a top tier battleship. I got to make a play. There's a little bit of make a play itis here.
I think it's way too early for that, but okay. And as Grunty said, you could be throwing your torps at stuff, even if they're luck chucking, whatever. Like I might have, when you decided to go into B, I might have torped this way, right? In case any of the enemy battleships advanced, which, oh look, they are. You might have surprised one with your torps. And if you absolutely need or your torps in a hurry, you've got the ability to use your reload booster to do that.
Yeah, I have that in my pocket.
Yeah,
And as you point out, I mean, look at where the Colorado's going.
exactly. Because they
Although-
killed the North Carolina that went and YOLO'd through.
Although the Cataluna probably would have spotted any torps that threw his way.
He maybe would have, maybe he wouldn't have. At this point, he probably would have. But now you're trying to torp him. And this New Orleans is saying, hey, how about you kill me right now, please? Go right ahead. No problem. I'll take it.
And Tsurugi's
And then Tsurugi says, nah, we're just going to overpen.
yeah, I'm like, this is perfect. I have found the broadsides. I have found the broadsides I was looking for, and
Not gonna lie, I fully expect that these overpans.
Mm-hmm.
you know, I had high hopes. You know, there's
That's all right. He's giving you more opportunities. But I agree with your choice to go for Colorado first.
yeah, I'm keeping a half eye on the mini map here as the Kansas. Like I start turning to go bow into the Kansas.
Well, he's also broadside to
Even
you,
though
so whatever.
It's like, oh, he's got to be getting a shot off. He's got to be getting a shot off, and I can't remember. There he goes.
There he goes. 2 pens and 2 over pens. Thank you, Tsurugi. See, this is why I hate playing this ship. It just... I want guns to perform and are consistent, and this ship just never felt consistent to me.
It is consistent. It's consistently overpenning.
It's consistently going in one side and out the other, but
I'm surprised I didn't give you a Pitadel there. Oh, and he's backing up for you now.
and
And look!
that's okay. That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
We're a battle cruiser. We're fast. We can outrun him.
The big thing is the battleship, or the destroyer there, the Benson. I'd be very concerned about him torping you.
Yeah, that's my fear at the moment.
Yep, so now that you've gone dark, yeah, turning hard here would be helpful.
Torpedoes, dead ahead.
These being the Flood, and I love this New Orleans now playing Ring Around the Rosie with you. Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan.
And
Until
finally,
he dies.
someone else gets a Citadel on him.
Well, you would hope so. I mean, you got two other teammates that could shoot him. Tsurugi trolling? I was gonna put hunting for the title, but okay, that could work too. Because his guns definitely are trolling him, aren't they?
And I mean, I've had times where I'm just sitting there, actually, what is it, on it? It's not Atlantic. I don't know. Can't remember which map it is. But anyways, you know, I'm sitting there, I'm nuking Stalingrads from across the map and sitting in the middle, controlling the spotting and the engagement, and it's so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then other times where it's just like, oh boy, I can't buy one today.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's my problem with this ship. Now, you chose not to charge the Benson, which is fine, but if that's the case, then I think you're better suited leaving the Benson to your teammates and then dealing with the southern flank.
That's kind of what I'm thinking here. Is I'm thinking, all right, between the Colorado and the Toulon, they can at least, if not catch and kill the Benson, at least sort of shove them away.
Right. I would have probably slowed down just to ensure you get the cap, though.
Yeah.
And I
mean, if the Benson tried to be cheeky there, that would have been got a reset off or something. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yes, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. Or he gets a torpedo hit on the Colorado and that resets him. Something like that. Like, with your speed and everything, you're in no particular hurry to, you know, get out of the cap. You can still hit the Los Andes from the cap. So,
Well, if I could hit the Los Andes, that is.
well, you hit him. You just didn't penetrate or damage or whatever.
Yeah,
so
I
you
didn't
know,
hurt 'em.
that's all. Yeah,
Just tickled them. Just tickled them. Let them know I was there, you know.
that's right. One pen, one over pen. And there goes your Brandenburg that took all that time relocating. I don't like that you... I want to mention this too. I don't like that you kept going on this side of the map because the Benson is probably over here. So you going this side of the map, you're like playing into the Benson's game. I would have rather seen you coming out of A, kind of going like the Toulon is going, especially if you're looking for broadsides. Because then you get side shots on a lot of other places. Hey, Cosmos.
Yeah, I think some of that was determined by how I first.
Where are you torping that for?
In case
15
North Carolina shows up in however many minutes.
Okay. I'd rather have the torpedoes ready for when the North Carolina shows up in how many minutes. Then, hopefully, you know, hopefully I'll shock them or something. Oh,
Yeah,
look, they're
I
all
mean-
shooting you.
All right. 4,000 damage to the Iowa. Please, cross my fingers, right?
Uh-huh. Now's the part as you turn out that you torpedo the Los Andes.
Enemy battleship destroyed.
Oh, look, it's the Moss. Nice kill. You're probably thinking it's about damn time.
I might have said something to that effect.
Mm-hmm. You got so frustrated you switched to HE. I love it.
Well, I know that the guy's turning in on me, too, so it's like, well...
Mm-hmm.
Ship is on fire.
I
And look,
told
the
myself-
Benson went back into A. Alright, I'd use reload booster now, by the way. Because both your torpedoes are on a cooldown and you've got 5 minutes left in the game. And
Yeah.
neither of those torps are going to hit the North Carolina. So this is the perfect time for you to use it because there's only one target left to torp anyway.
Concentrate fire on the designated target.
And then there's this moment where I'm like, oh, Christ, I have to go save the sub.
Yeah, well. Yeah, you kind of have to. Besides, North Carolina's just happily camping behind an island anyway, so it doesn't matter. See, now, had you used your reload booster, you could have torped either in front or behind him as you were coming through this island. Like, you know, like about to enter the channel.
Yeah.
Because if he moves forward and decides to come towards you, then there we go. Profe, what's up?
All stations requesting fire on the designated.
What's going on? How are you doing? ¿Cómo está usted? Señor Kinky. And then, of course, you finally hit the North Carolina and kill him. Hola, indeed. Powell, how are you?
And then, yes, great, I saved the sub. The sub
And you
is
got
in.
Kraken?
And I got the Kraken, which means reload boost and a heal, and we're living it big in Tsurugi world now, finally.
Finally.
Um,
Oh no, can't move the internet cable again? Well, welcome everybody. I'm Lord Zath, a North American community contributor, just like Profe is. And we are currently doing replay analysis, and we are looking at, of all things, a Tsurugi that just procced a Yamamoto heal.
Area.
So, wow. Oh, Benson! Full health Benson, that's totally not a problem.
like,
And you
words feel...
Our team
Oh.
depends upon
And at this point, I'm like, why did I spend so much time trying... Well, not so much time, but thanks. Thanks, sub, I save you, and that's how you repay me.
That's how most subs repay you, but yeah. You know. I'd say the other thing is if you see the Benson, my first thought is to slow down and turn in to prevent, torpedoes and stuff instead of continuing on at full speed. Roscoe 341, El McPowell, and Powell, and Torado C, thank you for the follows. Gracias por follow. Your follows mean extra special for us today because if you look at my follower count, I'm at 14,977, which means I am 23 away from 15,000. Very excited about that.
Speaking of torpedoes.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, so now it's you versus him. Mano y mano.
And more torpedoes.
Well, yeah, the other torpedoes.
And is at this moment where I realize I gotta kill him.
Yes, you do. You're down on points. You don't have the caps. Also, interestingly enough, you might have been able to dodge the Gearing's torpedoes if you did have Brisk. Just funny to think about.
And it was a little bit of like, do I slow down?
You really can't afford to. Not with 2 minutes left.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I gotta, because if I slow down, I'm never going to be able to catch him again.
You have to really hope that he's still in that spot. And this is another reason I hate the Tsurugi. You have to hope because you don't have a spotting plane. If you had a spotting plane, that would really help you right now. He's going to show up right next to you.
And then, well, here's the thing I realized right about now. I'm like, wait a minute. If I can get into the cap in C before the points flip, maybe there's a chance.
Assuming he doesn't go B, yes.
Assuming he doesn't go B. But if he goes B, there's maybe a chance that I catch him. Maybe because he would have had to turn around and... But now I'm thinking, God, I wish I had Brisk.
Right.
Right. I'm thinking to myself, and even if I didn't have Brisk, if I go to the other, do I go to the other side of this island? Do I not? Like which? Which side's the fastest side? Which side do I think the Benson's going to be on?
Honestly, I'm surprised the Benson didn't go B.
Yeah,
really surprised.
Well, now
oh my God, he's right there. So I hope you slowed down and turned. You're turning at least.
Hardly 30 seconds left. And
it's enough for 2 salvos because of Yamamoto. Actually, 3.
Oh. That happened.
Okay, you actually need a full 3rd salvo. That's hilarious. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, shots out, and you lost. Okay, trolling is the title for this one. Trolling is the title for this one. Absolutely.
Trollin.
You got trolled by the Tsurugi. Hard. Hard trolled.
And it's just like, I mean, look at the first salvo I got on that Benson. 2 hits. The second one, 6. What is this?
Welcome to 6-gun battleships. Seriously, my goodness. 164,000 damage. You got a lot of credits out of that game, at least. And you got the Yamamoto Kraken. But it didn't help you in this case. You still came in first place. Jeez. Unbelievable game.
Just like, I couldn't buy... I couldn't get good shots to hit. And yeah.
When you first encountered the vents and you stopped and you turned, you didn't fire right away. Does it matter? I don't know. But it seemed like you waited an extra second before you fired.
Yeah.
I don't think it would have mattered.
I think what I was telling myself there was like, gotta lead them enough. I probably only have time for 2.
Mm-hmm.
And, Yeah, I mean, well, shoot, I did get the third salvo off before the game got
Yeah.
shut off, and it missed.
Yeah.
But,
Well,
I mean, it was a little like, whatever, doesn't matter anymore. But
the
still,
funny the funny thing to think about is if you would have gone the right side of the island, because he was set expecting you to go to A. Like that position he was at was just like literally, I'm just going to torp this guy as he comes to A. So it feels like you were just like if you would have gone the wrong way to A, you would have completely surprised him and probably had more time to kill him.
yeah, I mean, I kind of almost got out potatoed. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking to myself, he's just gonna run.
That's what he should have done. He would have won the game anyway. But 61 AP hits. I want to focus on this number here for a sec. 61 AP hits, not even, or not even 120,000 damage out of the 61. And the reason I say not even is because that's 2,000 damage per AP hit. Ouch. You know what I mean? Yeah, 18 inches of glory. The problem is they never actually do what you want them to do.
18 inches of splashes everywhere nearby.
Well, but the pens you had were overpens. So many of them. On the off chance you didn't have time restraint, ripple firing so you don't miss like that at the end. That's true. When I shoot, I usually prefer ripple firing instead of salvo firing. Benson should have run Kepi. Yeah, right. Exactly. But dude, I mean, it's still a great game. It's just a heartbreak of a game.
I'm torn on ripple firing versus salvo firing at ranges like that where I know he's not going to be able to dodge much.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I ripple fire, that's 3 chances for me to change my aim to be off.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if I salvo fire, it's going to saturate that area better.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I mean, yeah, if I'm shooting it like a cruiser across the map and I want to put shells in 3 different areas where, if it turns out, it turns in.
Right.
But,
Okay. Well, let's take a look at your replay render. One thing I want to talk about is your positioning, because it did feel, and Dutch, you mentioned this too, like moving around so much, trying to get those citadels. I feel like you did use up a lot of your time to do that. That could have been better spent on the flank you were on, frankly.
Yeah, I mean, I could have just. That would be the other way to play here, I guess, is to be a little bit more passive, sit back at about where I am here, and then just lob high explosive at everyone who's coming my way.
It doesn't have to be HE, it could be AP. I mean, your AP does quite good against other stuff anyway. Like Chikuma, I'm pretty sure you overmatch his bow. Yeah, I just feel like at least if you're here, you are supporting the Massachusetts, and he feels more comfortable where he's at, and then together the two of you guys take out whatever's at sea. You just completely left it.
Yeah, I mean, but look at the Brandenburg and I really kind of just go on our own little odysseys here.
Well, the Iowa and the Ibuki as well, which doesn't help the situation because that loses DPM on the other side of the map too, right? So if anything, I'm going to pause it again. When you look at this, you would expect, okay, we're going to win this flank because look at all the ships that are here now, right? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 ships over there because they just lost one.
And before you paused it, you kind of saw me wiggle my bow in a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I ended up turning out. Well, I could have kept in that turn to come around and stay on that flank. I do think I would have had the concealment in order to do that.
Right.
Not that I'd be closing the range and showing broadside, but I'm also, I'm looking north, and I'm not thrilled by, our destroyer is about to go down, or North Carolina is out on a limb.
Mm-hmm.
Colorado's taken some hits, all that sort of thing.
Right. But, I mean, so you leave the flank, and yeah, I agree with Dutch. I feel like you're just trying too hard to make these awesome shots happen, and then you just keep getting trolled like every damn time.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing is like if this works out perfectly, I killed like the Kansas is already dead. You know, I don't have to worry about him later. You know, I get his shots on the Vladivostok, and you know, so on and so forth.
Your team actually loses C despite having the advantage or equal number. But I also like how neither of your teammates, you figured they were going to kill the Benson, and they didn't even chase the Benson. Toulon should have chased the Benson. Colorado, I can understand his decision not to, but
I don't remember if I put anything in chat about. Yeah, right as I turn sort of north-ish, that kind of decides which way I'm going to exit A. I feel like I need to get myself turrets turned around and shooting faster. So if I had to haul myself all the way around, it would slow me down. And
yeah, but I just feel like at the same time you're focusing, you're trying to do too many things. You're turning so you can get your turrets out, but in the process of doing so, you come back out, and you're not in a position to do what you're trying to do, which is get broadsides. Now here you turn away, when the better choice would have been to stay the course or even turn in and be more aggressive. And I think you really needed to at that point anyway. Toulon dies. YOLO charging the Chikuma. He gets torpedoed. Oh my god. Wow.
well, and when the Colorado goes down, I think, okay, all right, Sturdy's he's got air. He can just dive. Nope. Oh.
Man, Benson did a really good job this game of staying alive and capping all the things.
Yeah, and that's also kind of why I started turning back. It's like, okay, well, Benson's an A. We'll just get him. And then my team all died.
Yeah, like I said, I expected Toulon to have chased after the Benson, but he didn't.
He chased after the Chikuma to results.
Imagine if that initial salvo, you actually held your shot for the Chikuma 2, surprised him, and took out half his health or more. That could have been the difference right there.
Yeah.
This is something that...
I was like, all right, Chikuma's behind an island. He's not going to pop out. Oh. Never mind. Sort of
This
thing.
this is something that I see a lot of players do, which is they take shots on cooldown with their guns at things that, well, you know, maybe they've got a chance of hitting, but won't have a huge impact in the game. Like when you opened up here at the Los Andes, you saw him going sideways, and you're like, oh, broadside battleship. I shoot broadside battleship. You did, like, no damage to him because he's turning out, and he's a Los Andes. So, like, and you say you're not the only one. A lot of people did. So I think it's trying to maybe teach yourself, if you're looking for those kinds of big shots, especially early on, be a little bit more patient.
Yeah, and some of it, too, is I kind of marked the Los Andes as a thing to kill. You know, because I probably didn't want him to do what he ended up doing, which is just going bow in, run down the flank.
Yeah, well, I mean, the problem with the Los Andes is he's got such a tight turning circle that once the rudder is hard over, he's turning. And so you think you're timing your shot right, and you're actually not, because by the time your shells hit, he's already angled.
Yeah.
Versus like
the-
most other battleships with a really larger turning radius, you'd be perfectly timing it, you know?
Yeah, and I think some of that is this replay was a while back, and I know the Pan American battleships have been around for a few months now, but
Mm-hmm.
still seeing a long ship full of Tokyo drift like that is just, you
Mm-hmm.
know,
Yeah, well, that's part why the ship is broken, right?
yes. I'll just second that.
All right. Well, I think we've looked at this enough. I think trolling is a great title for this replay. Should chat vote for this replay to make it to YouTube. So, Armact, thank you for supporting the channel and using sub replay or cover. I don't remember which one for this, but thanks either way.
Yeah, thank you.